Well, before the leaves completely cover the ground, too late at my house, I'm just going to say that, and before the soil hardens over winter, there are some simple tasks that you need to do to keep soil and outdoor plants healthy throughout the rough winter months. And Derek Thomas from Thomas Landscapes joins us now with our How Does Your Garden Grow segment. And can I just tell you something? It is so stinky right here. What is the stink?
Well, it's some of the soil amendments, and we'll get to that in just a minute.
And I say that in love.
We've got, I know, I felt the love. We've got a dehydrated chicken manure that we're going to talk about.
Oh, that's what it is. And,
but,
you know, when I saw this, I said, what is soil amendments? And it's just...
It's things that you're going to use to build the soil. What it is a lot of people think their gardens are done. The frost has happened. You've got to remember, roots are going to continue to grow throughout the fall and throughout the winter. Roots are alive, and they are what keeps the plant growing in the growing season. So this is the time to think about that.
Okay.
Now, you know, everybody's talking about vegetable gardens, organic gardening. One of the things I wanted to tell people about doing was making leaf mold. The art of making leaf mold has kind of left us, and people go to the stores and they buy these commercially prepared stuff. Leaf mold, right now you have the leaves, as you said, on your garden. What you want to do with leaf mold is basically the process of leaves, and they will decompose over time and produce some of the richest soil that you can get. And this is an example of what our soil normally looks like in Washington. It's clay. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to break that up by adding the leaf mold. The way that I do my leaf mold, it helps it to break down a little bit quicker. You want to take the leaves, you want to get in there and actually shred them apart. Okay, and you can use anything. If you've got enough space, you can create a container at home. And the reason I create a container out of like chicken wire or something like that is because it helps the leaves not to blow around.
Okay.
But if you're space challenged, you can use a little container also. And then to help this, because this is mostly carbon, what I'll then do is I'll take things like grass clippings and I'll shred that on top of that. And what that does is that helps the composition process. And you want to mix that in. You want to make sure that that is kept nice and moist. And then when you go to harvest your leaf mold, you want to harvest it from below because it's going to decompose from below. And you can use it when you're planting new plants or anything like that.
That's fascinating.
So making leaf mold, get back in there and do it yourself. The soil amendments, you know, and I have a variety of soil amendments here. I've got peat moss. I've got dehydrated chicken manure. This is a compost that's actually pre-made, so you don't have to go out there and do the vegetables yourself. We've got lime. We've got a soil acidifier, which is actually a sulfur. This is a great way. If you want blue hydrangeas, add the sulfur now, and that will give you blue hydrangeas in next year. And then this is a bone meal. Bone meal is wonderful for any types of bulbs. Get those soil amendments worked in. The one thing with bone meal, be careful of putting it down. The squirrels are going to try to dig up your plantings because it does have a scent.
Squirrels.
Right.
All right.
And so it's very, very important. Get your soil built up now.
And the last thing you told me is that sometimes with the cold, it kind of pushes the plants up, right?
Right, and that is called a process of frost heaving. If you can see these peonies right here, peonies like to be right at the soil level. What tends to happen with those little tender buds will winter over. They're strong enough, even though they look really tender, or plants like the sedum, which is one of the strongest plants, it has these little buds, and that's next year's plants. What you actually want to do at this time of the year to prevent that, you want to take a really good decomposed mulch, you can take a leaf mold, and you want to top that out. What that's going to do is it's going to prevent the soil from heaving, and the frosting and the heaving will actually yank a plant out of the ground, leaving its roots exposed and causing injury to the plant.
So put that mulch on there to keep it down.
Get that covering over there to prevent frost heave.
Sadly, we are out of time, and I didn't mean to say, I would never say that you're stinky. I'm talking about your stuff.
Yeah, you know.
Derek Thomas, thanks so much.
Next week, hopefully, you're with me and it's not stinky.
It's going to be wonderful flowers. You can find all this information on our website, myfoxdc.com, because Derek has his own section there. So that's what's up, right?
That's right.
All right. Steve, back.